Yeah, Carolina played well. I think we got off to a decent start. They came right back pretty quickly in the first half. Key to the game for us certainly was every time that we missed a shot. I think they were 1.3 points per possession. Right after that, throwing it over the top, kicking it ahead, fouls. Just our transition defense was not where it needed to be throughout the entire night. Some key plays. I mean, throughout the game, that certainly we'd love to have back. The defensive intensity was not where we needed it to be. The communication was lacking, and just really, in general, a poor defensive performance overall. And in retrospect, it started out pretty well. Like our guys, it was 40-some, 20-some. Our guys were playing the game the way that it needed to be played at that particular time. The end of the half was a killer. I think 7-1. Beginning of the second half, another killer. We did not come out with enough fire on the defensive side of the ball to make things harder for them. And once it's free and easy, it's hard to get really good and talented teams, out of that mode. And our guys battled. They did a nice job of trying to figure out a way to win the game there. Missed some key free throws, of course, but it was deeper than that. The defensive effort was just not where it needed to be.
Thanks, Coach. Jeff.
The points off turnovers really jumped out of the box score.
Yeah.
Were the turnovers the result, did you think, of
Yeah,
really
I think the
good
first
defense?
half. Yeah, I think the first half we had a couple, maybe 4. We end up with 11, and I mean the key is you're going to turn it over on occasion. Some of them were bad beats. Some of them were not. They made good plays, knocking it out of our hands, loose balls, whatever it is. We've been generally pretty good at getting on those and coming up with those. The key is you can't have those turn into baskets, and tonight they turned into baskets.
Mike and then Preston.
Jaron Stevenson, 15 for them, didn't play
Yeah.
much in the first half. Is it the transition, or what made him so effective in the second?
Yeah, he was aggressive, and certainly he was open. In some of these miscommunications, he's open for threes and knocking it down. We had 2 guys go to 1, and he's open under the basket. I mean, there was quite a few things. I don't want to take anything away from him, but he was the recipient of some good plays on their part, but probably some, as we go back and look at it, some defensive mistakes.
Preston, then Greg.
Yeah, you mentioned the miscommunications and not getting back in transition defense. What changed so much from the first half, how good y'all started off defensively, to the second half?
Yeah, I think it was the end of the half. We didn't score a couple of times down the stretch. We didn't execute a play that we were trying to run there at the end of the half with a minute left, basically. And it turned into, a couple of quick baskets for them. We ended up in a switch where we weren't going to switch that one at the end of the half, and the kid made us pay with a 3. Yeah.
Greg and then Jordan.
It's like the Ritter was pretty good throughout tonight. What did you see from him, and how did he help you guys kind of stay in the game late?
Yeah, I think he came out aggressive. I think defensively he was pretty good, to start the game, and did his best, to try to keep, Wilson from catching it into spots. And, we need him to play that way. And, certainly there's some plays that he's going to want to have back too, some turnovers and, but free throws, Tess understands we need him to play big, for us to win.
Jordan and David.
Coach, after being up 15 in the first half, and like you mentioned, the 7-1 run, do you feel the team lost their edge or energy going to the half and starting the second half?
No, I think I didn't notice that when I walked in at halftime, but we did talk about it. We need to come out. This is what just happened, 7-1, not typically what we do. All right, so we need to fix it, coming out of half. And I don't think there was any relax in our guys. We're playing a good basketball team. And it's no different than I said prior to even playing the game. This is a good team that we're getting ready to play, a very talented team and well-coached team. And so I think Carolina just did a nice job.
David.
Ryan, three-point defense had been Carolina's issue coming in. You're below 30% tonight and 2 for 12 in the second half. You okay with the shot selection? They just didn't go down?
Some of them, yeah, some of them. Some of them were a little bit quick, but I think we overall offensively we didn't get them to chase us enough. I thought we were playing pick and roll offense, and we certainly had some good two-man plays, between Dallin and Johan. Dallin gets to the basket, Dallin drops it off, and we missed a couple. And so certain teams are going to lock out and play it that way, and they did a nice job of getting out there. When we would get into the paint, they did a nice job of getting out. We've got to move a little bit better, to create more passing lanes. But ultimately, we scored 80 points. Like, we have to defend.
One more, Thomas.
Coach, just a smaller one. This, in terms of scoring and rebounding, was Henry Vesar's worst game of the season. Do you attribute that to more your personnel, or something specific you were trying to do to sort of limit him on the boards?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Players are going to have good games. They're going to have subpar games, but, ultimately their team's walking out with a win. And so I'm sure he's happy. He's a really good player and tough to deal with. He's got legitimate size around the rim. He can shoot from behind the arc, and they certainly found a lineup that was working for them with two, quick, athletic guys. And we've got to be able to adjust to that. And so there'll be a learning process, that we'll have going through this next few days.